we go. I'll have to cut that part out later. I'm not real good at editing, but I use an app to kind of get my videos ready for YouTube, and I'm not worried about some of the stuff showing because we see so little of real people doing real activities anymore. It's mostly all fake and AI, and I don't really like to use AI. I don't know if I ever have. And most of it's because I'm not sure why. I guess because I feel like it I don't want to fake anything. You want to see something, let's see something real. You know, we see enough real things that are bad, and I think people need to see other people doing productive things without without artificial intelligence enhancing it. So after you press these, it makes it look better. And what I do is I make sure that I press it on both sides and make sure that that fold tends to be lumpy. The actual seam allowance tends to make kind of a lump, and you want it to fit flat and smooth so people can put their hands in there because it's actually something that's usable. And so when you're handling or pots, not hots, when you're handling pots and pans, you want to make sure you don't burn yourself. Now, these won't work long term because these ones today will not have Insulbright in them. And the ones that have it, I can tell if it's in there or not. And so I always tell anybody who buys any or anybody that I gift these to that that's that they either contain it or not. So I just thought they were kind of a neat thing to make. And I don't see a lot of people. I'm going to iron this again. It looks a little weak. I need a new iron cover. So this one got stains on it, and I believe it was from spray starch because I was using fabric sizing. I was using the dollar store brand. No scorching, sticking, or clogging. Yeah, right. Well, I think it's I don't know if it's scorched, but it sure stained my cover that I had on my machine, and it isn't that old. Because and so I stuck a towel under it to make it smooth. I took all the old padding that was under there because I've had it a couple years, and I took all the padding that was under there, the foam, and out, and I used Shout on it, sprayed it, and scrubbed at it, and the stuff just would not come off right there. So I'm not sure how to get it off. I may have to use like bleach and or baking soda and lemon or whatever works. But anyways, now we're going back to the machine, and I have this piece that goes on my machine that makes it kind of nicer. So, and it just folds up. This came with my machine, and it has the measurements on it, and I did a 1/4 inch marker there, and then it just slides on. Well, it usually makes a noise, but it didn't. So I never feel like I have enough light in this room. I need to invest in some more light. So these will be the second thing that we do. I'm gonna move those over. First thing you're gonna do is the main body of the outside. And again, probably can't see it there. Okay, so you're gonna stack those. And then this part will go face down. and line up with the arch. And it should meet, but again, I don't have these exactly symmetrical because these were not symmetrical. So this, when I cut this, I used a plate, and what it looks like is I've cut out more and more on this side as I've gone down. And I'm not sure, it also looks like this side is angled more of a 45 than this. So I'd say it's even greater than a 45. But anyway, this one looks more straighter as far as it looks like a deeper angle here. So anyways, I put those on there. And then I can see that I'm going to have enough space to put this on the bottom piece, which is the pocket for your thumb. And then the fabric that we use for, I try to put the seams that I did in those, I try to put those uniform. So always usually toward the where your thumb goes. And then you can, I don't know if it's okay if they overlap. I try not to overlap it because I want the pockets both free. So I'm talking about the fabric on the outsides, the pockets. So and then the tabs or the hooks, the loops, I try to bring that part out to where it actually fits a little deeper into the, so there's no chance of your hook coming undone. It's going to be sewn. And so then I again check to make sure these are long enough. Make sure everything matches at the bottom. And then I go in about 1/16 of an inch or so. Can you see what I'm doing? And then I stitch it with a straight stitch. There's a little, whoops. Okay, I'd like to line those up correctly so they don't stagger. Okay, that's it. And then those are done, that part, and I can trim off even. I can even trim off some of this. Because if I don't do it now, I'm going to have some of the batting that I'll have to cut through. And so you don't want a huge piece of this to have to cut with the batting. So I go in a little close. Then now I'll put it back and put this on top. This will be your back. And I try to get it the same shape as the one, this will be on the inside of your mitts, of your pop pinchers. And so I try to get it all lined up as good as I can. Then I put on 3 layers of this because it's kind of thin batting and I want them to not get burnt. So that's the main thing. And then I will stack that on top of there. Make sure all the corners show up to the edges. Looks like we have one short back here. So I may have to go in a little on this seam. You can sew it on either side. You can sew on the batting side up, or you can sew with the batting side down. And I haven't sewn with the batting side down much because it gets all clogged up in your machine, and I just vacuumed out the inside and cleaned it, so I really don't want a buildup of fibers and stuff in there. So I just try to keep that up toward the top. I use these little clips. Uh-oh, I'm losing them. Where did you go? Okay, there it is. I have the door shut so my cat can't just hop right in. She goes in and out all day long, and I kind of don't want dust and stuff all over my sewing. So then I take a look and make sure that this side looks equal and not flayed out, because you don't want it like that, where one side goes one way and one side, can you see that? You don't want it like that. You want it parallel. So uniform across. Um, they're not perfect. Sometimes, they're not the best, but anyways, we're about to hit it here. So, and these I always knot, because these are going to be where your hand fits in there, and you also have to put your hand in there, your fingers inside to pull out when you turn it right side out. So I try to make sure I'm going slow right now, because I want to make sure that I'm up close enough to the edge. And then I continue on around. I love this machine. It works pretty good. It's a Brother. And okay, down you go. And we're going down. So I hope I didn't go too close to the edge there. It looks kind of close. So, and then that loud noise, I think, is because my machine is going through so many layers. But maybe I need a stronger needle. I broke one the other day because I was switching feet and I forgot and did a different stitch. I was choosing a stitch like a zigzag or something, and I chose a different one and forgot to look up there and see, because it'll show you on my machine, it will show you the letter. I don't know if you can see it or not. It'll show you the number of the foot that you need. It'll say J. This is a J foot. These feet came with it. And the only other feet that I have used that didn't come with my machine is a standard. This is for quilting, actually. It's a walking foot, and I've had several walking feet. And this one I tried to use, and just I really prefer my standard foot that I have on here. So I'm praying nothing ever happens to it, because I've tried these and one of them broke and I had to go buy another one later so I could keep working. And but I'm really not happy with them. You can't reverse them very much when you want to do something that takes a reverse stitch. So I wasn't real happy. These have all of the layers through, so you'll see like 3 layers of fabric in there. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of close, but they'll be okay because they have a good snug stitch. And I have this on the setting of 4, almost 4. And then I get my kinking shears. And if you haven't sewn in a while, you can get back into sewing. You just need to make sure you have, first of all, the desire to sew. Second of all, it'll take money for your fabric. And sometimes you can find discounts at places that sell fabric. And lots of times, when I'm done with a project, I almost always save all my scraps. And as you'll see, if you look at this quilt behind me, the one that's up here on the wall, let me put it up. I made the Inman Park from almost all scraps. Those were almost all pieces that I had from other things. I don't think I bought anything new to make it all um, to make anything special, for it. These were all pieces of scraps that I've accrued over a period of about 6 months to a year, because I actually just started quilting in, I believe it was April or May of 2025. So, or 2020, maybe it was 24. I don't think it's been that many years. I think it was 2025 that I started quilting. Started sewing around January of 2025. And so then I just started quilting around April or May. And I've done about maybe 10 quilts and gave some away, never sold any. I gave them to one of my nephew, one to my only daughter, one to my youngest son. My oldest son I haven't seen for a while. Um, Lives in a different state. And then I have one that I made for, it's a queen size for our bed. One that I made for, let's see, I have an eagle throw that I made with a panel. I have a throw that I made my husband that has fall colors in it, which he really, he loves fall colors. So it has a panel because he likes Doberman dogs, and we don't have a dog. We live in a small house where, so we have a cat. It's quiet, she doesn't bark. Um, she can be a pain, but all cats can. So we also have this quilt that I made because I just wanted to do something interesting. So, and then I made a kind of an Art Deco quilt for my daughter-in-law, and it is at her house in a different state. And then I made this one and another one. This is just a little throw for your lap. It's a lap throw, and this is the back. And I had it hanging up, and I'm still not sure that I'm done. I did it in rows that were about 4.5 inches apart, and or maybe 4, I can't remember. But I love the fabric, the print that I have on the front. And I had 2 different packages, and then it's kind of wrinkled because I had it folded. So I'm not sure you guys can see it. Let me raise this up a little so you can see what we're doing. And this had some, um, I'm not sure what kind of fabric it was, Michael Kaufman or um, something. I can't remember the brand, but it was a nice brand. And so that's where the squares, the gingham looking things came from, the checked. And then, but in my family, my daughter and I like roses and flowers. And so I put together that. And then I have another one. Let me check, see if I can find it. This is a quilt top that I made kind of on the same order, but with more greens and reds in it. And a lot of people really enjoy the old fashioned stuff, um, but this one has more reds in it and greens. And it actually, I think that came in, I think I made it from 10-inch squares. Like this one was mostly 10-inch squares. And, but I like it, but I've never done a back. I haven't put a back on it. Needs a backing and a batting, and it's a cute little quilt. Just needs pressed and backing and batting. Sandwich. It needs a quilt sandwich. So I pinked it on all the edges so you can see. Um, I just really like sewing and making stuff, and I'm getting ready to, after I finish some of these pop pinchers, I'm going to make my niece, um, let me turn this all the way around so you can see. I'm going to make her a tablecloth. I'm sorry, you guys are looking at all that fabric mess and batting mess down there. It's gross. Um, so I'm going to make her a tablecloth from, I believe, this kind of fabric. And not sure you can see, but it has some, she likes pinks and greens, kind of the pale greens, I think. And so I fell in love with this, and so I ordered it. And I'm not sure what brand it is. And it's really maybe not good for pop pinchers, but I have a set of pop pinchers in the kitchen. It has kind of a silky feel to it. And I thought I was going to have trouble sewing with it because of the raveling, but I really didn't. Some of it does ravel. If you can see, it does kind of ravel a bit. And so the more you handle it, the more it does that. But I thought if I had something like this, I could do like maybe 9-inch squares, just solid 9-inch squares for a tablecloth. Maybe like, I don't know, I'd have to measure to see, but I'm thinking maybe a 60 by 72, depending on the size of her um, tablecloth for her table. And I'm really getting excited because I may just go buy another package of this, and then I have some solid pink fabric and some. I don't have the green, but I need to go get some really pretty pale kind of greenish aqua, a mix between that, and I can't remember the color, but it'll be something like I may put the pink in there like that, if you can see it. I may do the pink like something like that. Or I do have a softer pink color that's light